Howdy y'all, this is the Game Colonel again. Today I'm going to take a look at Mountain Blade Warband. Now if you haven't heard about this, which was kind of like what I was just about a week or so ago, this is a game that came out in March of 2010. That's right, 2010 it came out, and I'm just starting to look at it right now. You know, I haven't played these types of games before. Middle age, medieval type of battle games. But this one has really caught my attention in a variety of different ways. One is its ability to be modded and adapted and changed by anyone out there that has the skills and the talent to be able to do that. And we're going to talk about that in a little bit here. And maybe another episode it talks about the different mods because they are absolutely fascinating. But two is the storyline that comes with this. So you, as we're going to step through this, could be somewhere from a basic peasant all the way to a squire, and you work your way up to try to become lord of a manor, lord of a castle, and up to a king, rule the entire kingdom. It's not easy. It takes a little bit of work. What I want to do here now is just right from the start is give about 10 beginner tips that I found make this game a lot easier to start with. Very similarly, excuse me, as I did with Elite Dangerous a number of times, these are areas that I found are going to be helpful for you as they were for me here. I will put associated links in the notes as always down below. And on this time, I'm going to also, so you don't have to go through this whole video, break it down each chapter and you're going to see where you can start and stop if you just want to catch an area that you're interested in. All right, Warband. It's a version of Mountain Blade. And just a little heads up, there is a new version coming out called Bannerlord in 2017 at some point, not released yet. Look at some of the videos on YouTube. This will be a fantastic game. So take a look at that. Anyway, let's start this thing here. As you click on Warband, you got a tutorial. Recommend that as I do with all others. Go ahead and go through that. It'll give you some experience in using the weapons, the arms, the horse riding, everything like that, because it takes a little bit of work. But let's start a new game here. So the first thing you need to do is we need to determine how to go start an easy game and a hard game. There's no click on this. There's no selection to hit that says advanced, intermediate, or beginner. It's how you start the game. So it talks about here, and I'm not going to read all this. If you want to read it, go ahead and pause it, but it gives you a background of what the times are like and who you are as a character. Okay, we continue that. Next, we're looking at this character's gender. This is the first place to either pick easier or harder. Back in the day, remember, females did not have a lot of rights. We're not giving leadership roles except in very, very few cases. So if you want to have a harder game, although very enjoyable, pick female. An easier route is male. Simple as that. Okay. Then again, you have an impoverished noble, easier, given more rights and responsibility, to a thief. Okay. Each one of these from easier to harder. Okay. We're going to put noble. Now, next it says how your what happened after you became a teenager, whatnot. So you became a page at a nobleman's court, or a stepchild. Again, easier, harder. You're gonna go with the easier part. Again, as you grow up out of childhood, what did you become? A squire, all the way down to a game poacher. Okay, this matters also. Now, this also just doesn't matter in, be clear, in easier or harder. Later on, this will also determine the types of weapons and the strengths and benefits you start with. So as a squire, you've been, excuse me, educated in some of the combat arts. You know how to possibly ride a horse as you were an aide to a knight. Troubadour, wandering poet, minstrel, university student, peddler, smith, game poacher. Okay, starting a game poacher, you're going to have some knowledge in a bow and arrow that these others won't have. It really depends on that. So try each one out and see what fits for you. I go with a squire. Next, really here, this matters in some of the your abilities to work and understand others, and you're going to see as we break that down further in the game. But again, just pick one that works for you. Lost of a loved one. Okay, here we go. Now, because I was squire, it says I've been awarded the right to carry a banner. Pick a banner. Okay, let's pick the 3 swords. Doesn't really matter. It's just whatever you like. Next here, again, as we go into easier difficult areas, more difficult, realistic. Okay, you have to save at the end of this. Doesn't allow you to go back. Allow me to quit without saving. That means if you get yourself in a situation here, you just hit escape, quit it without saving, revert back to previous save. This way you cannot. So I clicked that one. It is quite a difficult game at the start. I'd encourage everyone to do the second option. Okay, you enter your name. Okay. Okay, game kernel's up there. Attributes. These will vary based on the earlier selections that we made. Okay, so my strength is 8, agility 6, intelligence 5, and charisma 11. As I move on the left-hand side, you will see on the right-hand side messages come up of what, as you increase or decrease, mostly increase, how they help you out. For example, intelligence goes up, so does my training, tracking, tactics, etc. Okay. Right now I'm awarded 4 points. So if I'm going to start this game right here, let's say I put everything towards strength, and I'm not going to give you, you can divide it how you choose, but at the beginning of the game, it's really about brute strength and being able to defend yourself because they're going to come after you. So I'm putting everything towards strength. You choose your own method. Okay, level 1 health tells me experience, and my next level to climb up for another attribute point will be at 600. Here's all my skills. Every one of these are adjustable when they have the plus by it. So right now, because I have 5 skill points from this, I'm going to pick power strike a little bit. Okay, reason why that went blank is because my next available one, I'm going to have to increase my strength. Right here, if you click it, not enough strength to learn this skill on the right. So it tells you, why did it disappear? It's all right there. Okay, excuse me, iron flesh, dang it, right there, 2. More impact to hitting. I like the ability to find personnel out a little bit further than in front of you to help you avoid, and also to find and locate thieves and whatnot. So I do spotting. I also like the ability to hold prisoners, exchange for cash at the early start of this. And then, I'm really going to like to start using a bow. So I'm going to start working on some horse archery. To start off with this, I want to get better at my one-handed weapon, and let's put a couple towards archery. The rest, as you see, self-explanatory. Okay. Adjust your character's face. We're going to go with that. We are done. A lot of different options. Now, let's go into number 2, the layout of this game. There's all different types of kingdoms within the area. They're all rival kingdoms. Swadia, Vagris, Kyrgyzkante, Nords, Rodux, and Sirand Soltante. I know I'm going to get criticized for saying it wrong, but those are the ones they are. Okay, so there's 6 of these here. An easier game, in my opinion, is starting off in Praven. You're going to see this, and we're going to do this here in a minute. Reason why is nice, easy rolling hills, lots of small teams of bandits at the beginning. Because again, remember at the start, you're going to have to fight, but you're also going to use this to get some money. You have to build up your coffers to be able to advance through this game. There's going to be expenditures as you hire more people and on and on. Like in real life, you need more and more money. Well, this is just the fact. Swati, I find much easier. The different locations, you'll see them throughout the game. It's hard to explain here without the visual, but they're located all different locations within the maps. My next start that I do like the Nords. That's the coastal side on the west side of the kingdom. I prefer, a lot of times, starting with that. It's a little harder area to do it, but I just tend to go that way. Anyway, let's go with Swadia. There goes a caravan, and then the start of the game happens here. And we're going to take a break, and we're going to go down in the next section and talk about how to focus on yourself. Okay, another area to look for, or that helps out that I learned the hard way, is food management. Okay, you don't have a lot of money at the start, and that's what we're focused on here. So if you're spending money that you don't have or can't afford to give away on buying food, that you don't need or aren't using, it's going to cost you. So right now I have one piece of smoked fish. Okay, this is just stuff I picked up in one battle. We sell that, get some money. However, the smoked fish, I have 47 fish or pieces out of 50. That's more than sufficient to be able to uh, nurture myself, plus about 5 or 6 people for several days. Okay, not a problem. When your army starts to swell, you're going to have a lot of people. You're going to need to build up bread, wheat, grain, whatever it may be, into your inventory. If I go into the marketplace, goods marketplace, okay, got it. Let's go down here to the buy some bread, buy some grain, buy some cabbage. Okay, they will eat each of these foods in order of which you place them in there. So here's the grain, here's the cabbage. Okay, if you have something in here, for example, here's a piece of pork. This will spoil. This will spoil in about 2 to 3 days and go bad, and you've wasted 91 dinars. Early on in the game, that's a lot of money to you. Put it in the first block. They eat from right to left. Excuse me. Get it backwards. Left to right, left to right. So if you already have some fish here, this will last a long time. But you have some cabbages, I would swap that right there. Vegetables, fruit, and especially meat that is not smoked. There's dried meat, not to worry about it going bad. This beef, go bad very quickly. It's really not a food that you want to carry with you. Go ahead and sell it right away. But again, right to left will save you a lot of money, a little heartache with throwing away. Okay, next, let's go back to companions we talked about. Okay, companions are found in the taverns. We talked briefly about it here. Remember I said looking for a doctor. Okay, that's a ransom broker. Another time. Your companions come with a different skill sets. Some are nobles, some and majority of them are not. They are from experts in fighting, experts in tracking, experts in medicine, across the board. Why that's important? When I go back to here, sorry for about going back and forth, is you cannot, excuse me, you cannot build up your experience across the board to make it worth anything. It'll take too long for you to get experience all across this board, and you're going to suffer for it, okay? But you can have your companions, your friends, come with their experience. You can build them up within their realms. For example, if you go back to the doctor, you're going to want to focus on his skills right here, okay? When you have someone that's really good at tracking right here and tactics, build up their skills right here. Each of them come with a different set. However, there's a drawback to this. Some of them do not get along with others. Okay, I will put a list of there are pretty much 16 of these companions out there, and I'm going to break it down into 2 sets of 8. And these 2 sets of 8 should be probably kept separately when you're doing this, because they will complain to each other and end up leaving your team, causing you some grief there. All right, so just verbally, I'm going to list out the first 8 are Ralph Firentis, Alien Metheld, Artemener, Borcha, and Lazalet. I'm going to put them down there. Those are the ones that are great, right? Pretty much use them from the start of the game as you acquire them, all the way up through until you start becoming a king and are able to put out having some fiefs out there and put some castles out there for your team. So really, those are the first 8. They're pretty much, in my opinion, all the first 8 that you're going to need to get you through majority of this game. And they have some great skill sets. Use them. I have a tendency, let's look at this real quick here. When I look at my party here, you will have those folks down in this area. So when you have one of your friends over here, you can put them in 3 different areas from the start, and they will come automatically, either infantry, archer, or cavalry. Now, what I have a tendency to do, if they do not have much experience or very, very weak in the fighting, and they're very important for me for, let's say, supplies, or very important engineers, of course, and my doctors, I do not want them harmed. I will create a new list, unname the group, go back, and just call them support. So that when we go ahead and go into battle, I can highlight the support team and keep them planted firmly in the rear with the gear and the rest of the team goes forward. Therefore, my chances of recovering from any battle that may not go my way are a lot better than having these folks weakened as well. All right? Okay, last but not least is knowing how and learning how to control your band of misfits. Okay? On small battles, you have overwhelming manpower, go ahead and hit charge and let them run in. However, a lot of battles you're going to run into are more evenly matched, or they may have fewer folks, but they have cavalry versus your foot soldiers. Okay, you have to plan this out. And how are you going to do this? There's different ways. There's using, and when you look into the menu, there's using the F keys to identify not only which group of soldiers, but where you want them to go based on your commands. I prefer to do it a different way, hitting backspace and getting into my, what I call as the commander top-down view. This way it shows me a map where I can pinpoint by just using my mouse, or I can highlight each of the groups of soldiers and have them do exactly what I want them to do. It gives me more greater control in the time of a battle, and I'm able to shift on the fly. So let's go ahead and do that, and we're going to show you as this goes. All right. There's no way for me to really pause it, so we'll just talk through it as it happens. Okay, prepare to die. A lot of words back and forth. Okay, always starts with charging the enemy. The enemy, for the most part, comes between your 11 and 1 o'clock position, whatever you're facing from. Okay, that pretty much happens without fail. As you get more tactics, whether it's yourself or one of your friends there, get higher up in tactics, you're going to have a better starting off position. But as it is, a lot of times they can have the better position up on the high ground, or you can, or it can be purely a flat ground area. Every time is a guess. We'll see how it goes, okay? At the top it says I have 30 troops fit for battle against their 7. Normally, I would charge the enemy. Not a big deal, but here's what we're going to do. We're going to hold everyone back. So I hit charge the enemy. I do this. I say hold this position. Over here, it's hard to see. I hit spread out. Everyone should do a skirmish line. Everybody. Support, I'm going to have hold there. I want my archers to move up to here. No, let's do it to here. There goes my archers. I could either do it this way with the mouse, or I can have them lead it. Now, what I want is I turn my infantry off and my this. Now, cavalry and infantry, I want to now charge this position. And I hit charging. So they're going to go to that position and they're going to take off. So off they go. I've got my support folks here in a nice easy line with me here that are holding back. Okay. Now, you could also do fire at will or hold your weapons. Okay. If you want to take more prisoners, you can click use a blunt weapon. So those two folks that are highlighted will use blunt weapons. Okay. Now you see these folks over here have put down their weapons. And we just won now. So everyone is dead. They're done. They're celebrating. You go pick up the scraps. Oops, let's put fire at will. Let's cover everybody here. Let's go, I don't know if they'll still follow me like this. Use any weapon. Okay. No, they're going to sit still because the battle is over. But normally, you could also have them on your tail saying, hit the key of follow me, and you can place them. If you know they're coming into distance, I hit this, and I drop off, let's say archers here, and I say hold this position. Then I continue to march around. I'll circle them here. I will hit spacebar. I will hit, not cavalry, I will hit cavalry, correct. I'll come up behind them and then hit charge from this position since they're on my tail. And then my infantry, it's timed out. I will do the same. So I will try and encircle the enemy and do it that way. All different ways of tactics are you able to do it. But again, overwhelming numbers, not a big deal. Have them charge in. Take care of your business, not a problem. A lot of numbers out there. You got to be smart about it. Think of a plan. How are you going to do it? It happens fast, so be ready to do it. All right? Okay. That has been Mountain Blade Warband and 10 beginner tips. Hopefully they'll be helpful for you to kind of eliminate some of the frustration at starting this game. Some areas move pretty quick, and you got to be ready for it. This should help you in the different areas, especially remember to train and train a lot. It will boost you through this game a lot easier. If you liked the video, please hit a thumbs up and tell your friends. Thanks a lot. I'm going to do more of these here, probably focus next on one of the mods to Warband. And looking forward to the next version of this coming out, Bannerlord, sometime in 2017. Give it a look. I think you're going to like it. Thanks. Have a good day.